glad to see you guys here at 3:30 on our streaming service. The inmate who gave birth inside of a Montgomery County jail cell all by herself is telling her side of the story today, Lauren.
Yeah, it's a situation that has sparked a lawsuit from it. Thanks so much for joining us here this afternoon. I'm Lauren Lowry.
And I'm Tracy Cornett. Alyssia Moulton spoke to our investigative reporter, Jeremy Finley, about her decision to take legal action here.
The circumstances of her birth were traumatic, but she says her own actions led her to be in that position in the first place.
It is a life Alyssia Moulton could not have imagined a year ago.
I was in a bad state at that point.
On August 19, 2023, she knew she was strung up on drugs and charged with burglary when she was booked in the Montgomery County Jail. What she didn't know is that she was also pregnant.
See if, how far along I was is really what I wanted to know, because I was concerned. Yeah, I wanted to make sure he was healthy, you know what I mean? Like, especially the lifestyle I had lived up into that point.
You obviously were using drugs at the time. You obviously had committed a crime. How much responsibility you take?
I shouldn't have been living that lifestyle that I was living. Like I said, people make mistakes.
But even after a pregnancy test in the jail confirmed it, Moulton says in her lawsuit that the medical staff with Southern Health Partners never took her to see a doctor, and she was never given an ultrasound. She was also detoxing from her drug addiction.
I cried to the nurses. There was times where I cried. One of the nurses even held my hand and told me, you'll just get through this.
Even with her first pregnancy with her daughter, she didn't show. So when she started experiencing labor pains just a week later, she asked to see a doctor. A nurse's note shows they could not feel contractions on her stomach.
She was like, he's up too high, you're too small, you're not having contractions. Looked me right in the eye and told me I'm not having contractions. No one should have to have a baby in a jail cell, especially when I made them very much aware, hey, I'm having a baby, let's get to a hospital.
What followed would make headlines across the country. When medical staff left, Moulton would give birth to her son Aiden alone in the toilet in her cell.
He was in the toilet for a few seconds. We got him out. I thought, honestly, I really did think he was dead at first.
In her lawsuit, Moulton is suing Southern Health, claiming they were indifferent to her suffering. Moulton's attorney, writing to WSMV4, investigates. This lawsuit shines a light on this often overlooked social issue and raises awareness of the civil rights of pregnant inmates.
Any other woman should never have to go through that ever again.
For the second day in a row, WSMV4 Investigates left a message for Southern Health Partners, asking for their policy of how pregnant inmates should be treated. No response yet. Now 355 days sober, Moulton is working and taking care of her daughter and son. Knowing the day will come, Aiden will ask about the day he was born.
I still have nightmares about it. And like I told you, it's on his birth certificate where he was born, and I hate that for him. That's where his place of birth, Montgomery County Jail.
Well, you can see in the video there, he is a healthy baby now, but according to the lawsuit, he was born premature and suffered eye and blood infections because of his contact with the toilet. A spokesman for the sheriff's office declined to comment because of the pending litigation. You can stay with WSMV4 for updates on this story.